Warning, this podcast contains Barbara.
We've said this before.
Doesn't make it any less true.
It's true.
I need to warn people about Barbara. You just can't let that go unwarned.
No.
Hello everyone and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Gotham, Season 2, Episode 18, Pinewood. I'm your host Dom, with me, John and Nikki.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh,
My favorite
okay.
gal's back.
Yeah?
Oh, you shouldn't have.
I think you meant Barbara.
Yeah.
My favorite gal in this show that we watch.
My favorite gal in the show that we watch with blonde hair that used to date Jim Gordon.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
We gotta
had
narrow
to-
it down. Yeah.
So specific.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Specific.
That way no one can be confused.
Yep.
I was expecting like the Pinewood Derby, out of this episode. I was. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Pinewood. So.
Okay.
No one else.
I don't even know what
No.
that is.
You don't know what the Pinewood Derby is? It's like soapbox cars.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Got
wouldn't
it.
know about that.
No?
No.
Why not?
Doesn't interest me.
I remember
Okay.
there was an episode of Richard Scarry that had those.
The Secret World of Richard Scarry.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever try to find what was it? That one guy that was hidden in every episode?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? Yeah, I
I
forgot
do.
about that too until you just mentioned it.
Very
But anyway, huh? What?
It's a very faint memory.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this episode starts right off with Barbara at Jim's door where we left off,
Mm-hmm.
and she assured Jim that she was telling the truth because it's what she does now.
Yeah. Okay.
I was totally believing that.
I mean, she was truthful to a point this episode until she started messing around and acting.
I don't know, my favorite was like Jim keeps going, get out, get out, get out, and then she's like, can you just say my name? And he's like, Barbara, get out. I was just
She
like,
listened after that.
yeah. She had this little smile until Bullock comes down the hallway, right, and murdered the pizza after seeing her. Did you
Jim!
that poor pizza? What did that pizza ever do? How did they eat that afterwards? That's awful.
Bent pizza. Ugh. All the cheese probably fell off.
Aww.
Assuming it was a cheese pizza. Could be some weird pizza that has no cheese on it.
Probably doesn't strike me as the type to go AWOL
No.
on pizza.
No.
No, he seems like a cheese pizza kind of guy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people just do the white tomato sauce pizza, I don't know.
I mean, he had their equivalent of like Bud Light with him.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like,
true.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think it was a
that-
fancy evening.
Yeah. I don't think the two of them were having candlelit dinner over pizza.
Something strike. That would be adorable, though.
That would.
Harvey! Oh, God. I can see it. It is
Yeah.
adorable.
I can get lost in your eyes, Jim.
You should come rejoin the Force. Yoda told me to say that. But yeah, Barbara kind of oversaw a case file for the lady, knowing that Jim is kind of still working on the Bruce Wayne case. So she offers help. And he's just like, no, still get out. Until he runs into a blockade. He beat up a bunch of lowlife on his way to find information on her, and she was staying at the Artemis Club. Problem is, it's an all-girls club.
Jim would make
Jim
a pretty
didn't do his
lady.
homework.
Mm-mm.
He didn't.
He would make a pretty lady.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Just a little rouge or something.
Cover up the friggin' blows to the face he's taken
Yeah.
over the past hour.
I don't know. He was dealing most of those blows.
Yeah, well, he had a stick and some knuckles to help him out, so.
I like the one drowning the guy in the toilet. I was like, "What are you in high school, Jim? Like you turned into a high school bully?" The brass knuckles and the bully club were fine, but I was waiting for you to give him a swirly and actually flush the toilet.
That would have been amazing.
I really liked Jim this episode.
Yeah, he's a little bit better.
In comparison to what we've seen in the past of the season, yes, he's so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he needed Blackgate. I mean, even though we all dreaded it and it was like, ugh, it was horrible, the character himself needed that little push into reality.
Or he just didn't need to go on that arc at all. He could have just been like, I'm leaving the Force to fix the Wayne murder case, and I'm going to do it rogue. Would have still got to the same point, I think.
I don't think so.
The Riddler stuff would have been less cool.
That's very
That's
true.
true.
That is true. But in the meanwhile, Barbara shows up at the club. She's like, look, I did my research. It's an all-girls club. I'm going to go in and get you the info. He's like, absolutely not. But he doesn't really have a choice. She goes in and does it anyway. She, like, swoons over the lady, saying that, you know, she's rich. She wants to be an assassin. She can restore the lady's reputation from the last time it got trashed by Jim. And she kind of concocts this whole plan where Jim sneaks in, unknowing to the plan, gets, you know, tied to a chair.
Unknowing to the club there, but Barbara knew the whole time.
Yeah, it's just
She
like...
expected him to do it.
And Jim goes, what if I waited outside?
She's like, yeah, really?
She's like, do you know who we're talking about? Like, Jim Gordon is going to wait outside. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And then he's like, well, I have nothing to say, because you're right.
She knows him.
But she did get all the information. She got everything that he needed.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was everything he needed, Hugo Strange would already be in handcuffs.
Well, everything that he needed from the lady, as in, that's all she knew. Like,
everything she
Yeah.
So he got what he needed out of the lady, which was everything she knew. And Barbara, like, electrocuted both of them, and, like, I don't know what the hell, like... What'd she have? She had some kind of taser, right?
I don't know, she kicked some ass, though.
I thought she had a taser.
I think she used his whooping stick.
I thought she had a club with a taser on the end of it. I thought it was like a bully taser, whatever, like a bully club with a taser.
He just didn't shock anyone.
Yeah, maybe. And I was just like, whoa. But I don't know, every time I see her, I can't help but think of the lady in her role from Doctor Who this last season. It's just like, I can't unsee it. Cannot unsee it.
Yeah, me and John just pew right over our heads. We don't know.
Well,
Doctor Who?
Well, Nikki, you watched the majority of Doctor Who. You just didn't watch, like, the last season.
The last few seasons.
Last two, at least, yeah. Capaldi, basically, on.
Yeah, as soon as Capaldi came on, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, she plays a major villain, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just like, it's incredible. I loved her role in Doctor Who, and seeing her here, it's like, is it the same role? Because it could be, but it's not.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
No ties there.
I just want every TV show I ever watched to be tied together. It'd be amazing. Yeah. But we get information about the philosopher, right? In the meantime, Barbara goes back to Tabitha, and I'm like, what the hell is going on over there?
It's because Jim rejected her fully. Like I said, there's no way in hell. No way in ever hell. I don't care what you do for me, it's not happening. So she went back to Tabitha because Tabitha was the next thing that she had a connection to.
I don't know. Butch was Butch was basically like me in that scene. It's like, what?
Poor Butch. It seems like he gets no screen time anymore.
He really doesn't. He like took control and then bye, Butch.
You know, it's like when the Penguin had control. He was all over the place.
Well, it's because he was right by the Penguin's side, and the Penguin had a lot of screen time.
Yeah, and actually now mentioning it, there's no Penguin this episode.
No.
And to be honest, I didn't miss it. And I'm saying I enjoy watching the Penguin, but this episode flowed really well. That squeezing him in, I think, would have been awful.
Yeah, that they're definitely getting better like that. Because I remember the first season, they tried to break it up way too much.
Mm-hmm.
The show was really fragmented. It was almost hard to keep track, but they're definitely doing better this part of the season.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah, I mean, they're sticking to one, well, usually like 2 plot lines, it seems.
Right.
Maybe
And then
3.
and then they merge them all. So it's really interesting. Because, whoa. What the hell is... Hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry, I had an ad playing. It went nuts. It's talking about Overwatch.
Oh.
So we're not sponsored by Overwatch, but it's a good game. Go play it. Yeah. So Bruce's calendar, the calendar on his father's computer, anyway, leads him to the direction of Karen from Pinewood.
What's her full name? Did they ever say it?
I don't
Karen
think so.
Fleming.
Karen Fleming? Okay. Where she basically has a T-Rex arm.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't, and then she did.
Well, when Bruce met her, she did.
When Bruce met her, yes. But I think,
The
what did she say? It was like, she was born with it. It was like a defect.
She was born deformed.
Right.
Yes.
Now,
She didn't really specify.
was it supposed to be a T-Rex arm, or is it like a bird arm, or what the hell was it?
Well, to be fair, I mean, T-Rexes, well, raptors, we'll go with raptors.
They're birds, yeah.
Are not too far off from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, both.
Okay.
It was both.
I think the only thing that mattered is that she had really nasty, long, and sharp talons.
Mm-hmm.
That was the interesting part.
The better to slice Alfred's hand open with.
Oh yeah, well, it was his arm.
Got him good, though.
Oh yeah, he was really bitter about it too. She's like, "I'm just protecting myself, you jerk."
Bruce like put the weapon down. He like put the gun down. Alfred's like, "Are you fucking crazy?
Are you stupid?"
You know, after we see Bruce's like lock picking skills and stuff, like break into her house, and then Alfred's all like bent out of shape. After breaking into her house, that she attacked him, like.
Dude, you broke and entered, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bruce did.
Exactly.
You just entered, but
yeah.
Yeah.
He entered with a gun, up and ready to shoot.
I don't blame her. I don't blame
I
her
don't
one
blame
bit.
her. No.
Especially because she didn't know who the hell they were.
Of course. I'd have cut him.
Mm-hmm. And we had a little dog, too. But
I mean, I liked her a lot.
Yeah, she was really cool.
Until she died.
And
I'd
then
have
she
to
was
accept
even
that.
more cool, and then she died.
Well, she like led them on a wild goose chase to like absolutely nowhere that ended up getting them all arrested because she had to go and murder the guy, and then Alfred's got a weapon on him, and they all, you know, get thrown into jail, and Jim goes down to the station. They're already letting Alfred and Bruce out, and, you know, they went and talked to Barnes about Bruce is like, I told him everything. So it's like, what exactly is everything? Like, you know, I don't even know what Bruce knows at this point anymore. Like, does Bruce know about Blackgate? Does he know about the experiments going on there? Indian Hill?
Indian Hill? No. I
No?
don't think anyone knows about that except for Strange.
Okay. And Peabody? Peacock?
Peabody.
Peabody.
He
Yeah.
said it clearly this episode. I caught it. I made sure to remember it.
Well, I know it. That it is one. I always mix myself up. It's because I want to play Clue desperately. So.
Oh, okay.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah, but so Bruce and Gordon sit down and they kind of like swap info, and Jim is like, "Look, here's some info about the philosopher. He's the one that hired Matches Malone. And then we have Bruce going, yeah, well, here's some information about Blackgate, that we were informed from Karen. And it's like, okay, interesting. Then they decide that they're going to break Karen out so she could identify who the philosopher is. So they, hijack a truck on its way to Blackgate.
With Karen in it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what? This goes back to, us talking about Jim. How is he going to turn himself around and all this? It seems like he cleared his name for, all this. It's water under the bridge. But he's still, being a thug, going around beating the shit out of people this episode, robbing armored trucks. This is still not the Jim Gordon we know.
He's not even wearing a mask.
Barely.
No, he's not. He didn't that whole time. Those two...
when he jumped at the truck, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
He had,
Well,
they all were.
They had masks on that covered, this.
Yeah,
The rest of their... Just,
really useful.
This big circle here. Even their nose was visible. It's like...
Yeah, it's like... Hi, Jim.
Jim, you have this big cut, gash across the side of your face. It's completely visible. Then you have Alfred talking in his British accent, which nobody in the Gotham has. So it's just like...
He's the only British man there.
Yeah, he's the absolute only one. And then you have, a little kid running around, too. So it's just it's kind of obvious who they are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially, if the police review any kind of security tape. Gordon's cut is clearly visible. The Bruce Wayne is there, and Alfred, hours after they broke out of jail, or not broke out, but left. Yeah, got released. They were all there together. It's kind of obvious. Terrible idea.
It's kind of what I'm getting at. It's people can tell it's Bruce. People can tell it's Jim. They can tell who's doing this. So I mean. Yeah, he cleared his name for Galavan and all that other stuff, but he's putting his and he's not taking any precautions to make sure he doesn't get found out again.
Yeah.
He even said it himself. Well, there's definitely no way I'm going back to the GCPD. He knows he screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit.
But in the meantime, we have the return of Mr. Freeze.
Which was cool.
Who's listening to death metal now? Because
He's very
metal means
angry.
you're angry.
Very, very angry.
Well, I remember when we first saw Bruce, or was it the second? No, it was the first time we saw Bruce in season 1. He was listening to heavy metal.
It's I think the writers are only angry people listen to death metal, so that's going to be the angry music. It's
right? I listened to a good portion of metal back in my high school days, but I wasn't this angry kid that went around, pissed off at everything.
You're just this is awesome!
Yeah.
I mean... pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I got into some heavy stuff that was, so underground people don't even know, but, the most mainstream one I can think of is System of a Down. I listened to every song, not just the radio songs, and some of them got really heavy, the song... PLUCK, Pluck, I think it was the acronym. It's their heaviest song to date, and it's just if you walked into the room and I was listening to that, you'd be like, what? Why are you angry? I don't know, but I never was, so I don't get the correlation. Maybe it's just because the music is screaming, and in most cases you can't understand what they're saying.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just I don't know. It's the second time it's happened. They've established a pattern, clearly.
Yeah. But Mr. Freeze kills Karen in cold blood.
Shut up.
Well, it's been fun, guys.
Yeah. I've been waiting all season to make a Mr. Freeze pun. We didn't make them surprising. Did we? I think we did, actually. John, didn't we go back and forth for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys did, and I was sitting here with my nose bleeding and blood streaming out my ears.
And eyes and every orifice.
I was dying in my chair because you guys... It's all your fault.
I am sad that Karen died. That was really
I
upsetting.
know.
I liked her.
Wait,
I liked her a lot.
She was
she
an
didn't even
interesting
put up a
character.
fight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
And like Bruce was obviously hit by it too, because it was somebody that was important to his father. But it seemed like he was more upset over the fact that no one was left to identify who the
Yeah.
philosopher was. So I don't think Bruce actually ended up caring about her, to be completely honest.
Until Lucius came around the corner, was like, "Guess what I found? Yay!"
Company newsletter.
That was really. I love seeing Lucius. Is that? I want to. Yeah, that's his name. Sorry, I'm getting
Yes.
confused with another show, and I'm like, is it Lucian? No, it's not Lucian.
No, it's definitely not Lucian. Lucian
Okay.
is the bottom of an ocean somewhere. Or am I thinking of shit? Never mind. I'm getting even more confused. Anyway, but after they discover it, Bruce is just like, it was his friend. That's not fair. That's not right. Like, he just keeps repeating that over and over again. Like, he's clearly upset about this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce is still, I guess, sorting out his code of honor to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's someone his father was supposed to trust, and to get betrayed like that, like your friend killed you, basically, is a big deal. I mean, of course it is, but because I just feel like he's gonna be like, I got the bloodlust again. I'm gonna kill his ass so hard. It's like, Bruce, buddy,
Chill out.
that's not fair either.
Yeah. Lisa over in chat says, "Hey Dom, do you remember how Batman and Robin went wrong with all the cold puns?" And that was my favorite. Like, as bad as that movie was, you just go back and look at the Arnold Schwarzenegger and cold pun reel, on YouTube or whatever.
Everybody, chew.
It's like one of my favorite things ever. That movie was so bad, but the roast reel is just amazing. It's the best thing that ever came out of that movie. But in the meantime, the episode ends with the return of Galavan.
Is it?
I want to say from the moment he was visibly on camera, like he was still not able to tell. I want to say from the moment I knew it was Galavan, but I was hoping
You were hoping for Jerome?
I was hoping it was Jerome.
I was hoping for Jerome too, because it's been too long since we've seen him, and Galavan, it feels like we just saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it would be interesting because I mean I knew it was Galavan, but
Right.
that's because of the preview from the episode before.
Yeah.
But now we have a sort of this idea that because obviously he was not himself when he was resurrected.
No.
He was calling himself Azrael.
I mean, was he calling himself Azrael, or
he was calling
was
out
he
to
talking?
Azrael.
Yeah. So does that mean he's going to be Azrael, or?
Well, watch the preview of the next episode.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
The
promo. Will the synopsis tell us about that?
They give it right the fuck away.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
But my thought was okay, so maybe if Jerome does come back, he'll have a reason to just go full tilt into Joker mode.
I mean, he's already kind of full tilt Joker, but
now he'll have this resurrection apparently fucks with your brain even more, and so now he'll have this new identity, and maybe that identity will be the Joker.
I hope so.
Something like that.
Absolutely hope so.
Interesting. It's not really an origin because he was already crazy Joker before, but this time he will be his whatever he was personifying before.
Yeah, and so I did actually watch the preview, but I didn't know if you guys did. That's why I asked the question. In the preview, though, there's an extended preview that kind of shows the leading up to all the events up till now, and then it shows Galavan opening a case, that's got a crazy sword in it, and we see him in the full Azrael armor and everything. Next episode, which looks really cool. One scene in particular stuck out for me. and that was when they were looking in Hugo Strange's laboratory. There's a woman that we see from behind that has red streaks in her hair, sitting in a glass tube, and I'm like, fish. So
who is she gonna be?
So
is she
I
just
don't.
gonna be Fish, or is she going to be someone we know
I don't know.
from the universe?
I don't know, because this is, keep in mind, this is the first time they've resurrected somebody, so there's probably some issues with it, and they can work out the kinks as it goes. So we may not get a bunch of people with identity crises every time they're resurrected. I'm sure there will be some that do. Joker may fall into like somewhere in the middle. Like maybe he's 2 or 3 subjects down the line, and then maybe when Fish comes back, they perfected it. And
Yeah.
So they're using Victor's formula for this resurrection.
it has something to do with it. Yeah,
It has to be.
Okay.
I believe they're using Victor's formula and Crane's formula.
Oh.
That would make sense. That would explain the crazy.
Yeah.
So they might have to mix, because they mentioned using the Crane serum one of the last couple times that we were in Indian Hill, like right around the Mr. Freeze time, I think, when they first took him in, they mentioned the Crane serum. So they're definitely playing around with a lot of crazy chemicals that are going around. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones responsible for the Bane serum as well.
Yeah, might as well be. At this point.
So
we kind of caught a glimpse of that in season 1. So
right. Yep.
My weird concern is, now that we know that the characters may not stay dead in this show anymore, I just hope that they're careful with this, like, whole resurrection thing. Like, they're not going to abuse it.
Right.
And, now, like, anyone who dies, it's like, they'll be back in
Yeah, we
20
won't be
minutes,
concerned about their death or anything like that. We'll just expect them to come
Well,
back.
It seems like Hugo's the one in charge of this. So if they take care of Hugo, we don't have to worry about that.
This is true.
And it's also going to lead into, if a character like Jim dies, or Barbara, maybe Barbara, but if Jim dies, Hugo doesn't have a reason to bring him back.
No, that's true.
If Barbara does, maybe, because he let her out, and maybe she'll come back as Harley Quinn or something, which would be really cool. But I don't know. Yeah, it should be interesting.
I'm excited for Azrael.
I'm excited to, not only for Azrael, that's going to be awesome, but the potential of Fish Mooney, the potential of Jerome as, Joker. I can't imagine anybody else at this point now becoming the Joker. Like, after they've shoved Jerome down our face. Like, and we got to see him with the Maniacs and everything like that. There's no one out there that I think is a better Joker for this show.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be, but because they presented him so well to us, that's who we want. Because he does seem to fit really well.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Brian Griebel, I want to say, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, says he also wants Barbara to become Harley Quinn. Sally Noble agrees. Lee says she's not becoming Harley Quinn, but who knows? We don't know
anything. They can go any direction with this show. There's no limits for what they're doing.
Yeah, because this show is clearly not following typical canon at this point. When they killed off Victor's wife, and that's not something that happens in most of the canonical Batman. So all bets are off for this show, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I expect Gordon to be the first Batman, even in the slightest sense. Like, I know Bruce is going to be Batman when he's older, but I expect Jim to take the reins and kind of maybe be the first one to start taking on that moral compass kind of thing.
I could see Jim maybe going in some kind of like armor suit kind of thing, not being Batman, but being the Dark Knight.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I know we've seen this comic before.
Mm-hmm.
John has showed us very nicely before. He is Batman in that comic, so I'm really hoping for it, because You know, I've seen all the other Batman movies. I haven't seen like the animated series or read any of the comics where, Bruce is Batman. But this seems more interesting to me if they go this
Yeah, I
route.
mean, there's been other instances where someone else has taken up for Batman for him, like when Bane broke his back, his best friend took over for him.
Yeah.
So it's happened before.
Yeah, there's different things they could do. So they could go completely crazy on the show, and like I said many times before, all they have to do is explain this as a different Earth in the DC Infinite Earths, and it's fine because it's not technically breaking canon because it's just a different universe.
Yep.
So as far as next week, the episode is called Azrael. Gordon and Bruce question Professor Strange about Project Chimera, which leads Strange to send the newly resurrected Galavan to confront Gordon. Meanwhile, Nigma investigates who Professor Strange is. How is Nigma investigating anything? I thought he was behind bars.
Well,
he's
he
in the
is.
insane asylum. He's in Arkham.
Yeah, and we know. Well, he's insane, but he's not insane. Like he still has concurrent thoughts. He can think himself out of the situation, whereas some people are just so whooped they can't do anything but eat their food.
He's put together.
He is put together. He still has thoughts that make sense. So
Yeah.
he can investigate all he wants. I mean, Strange is there with him in the asylum, so.
Yeah, and Strange has been releasing everyone, so he can go ahead and release Nigma at any point, and people have to accept it. Yep. So he's just like, hey, don't get caught this time. That's what it comes down to.
That's it. Yeah.
Because we saw how long Penguin's what do you call that?
Sanity.
Yeah, well, his program. I don't know, like
his
whatever.
Brainwashing.
Yeah, the brainwash. We saw how long that lasted, right?
Yeah.
And then we see Barbara, like, she's kind of sane, but she's like on the borderline of sanity right now. I don't know, because she's like, oh, she's acting the whole time, being like, I only faked all that, and it's like, is that real, or are you playing that out? Like, fake? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So
I think she's both right now, but when she's able to, act upon the more distasteful part of her personality, she does it very well. Mm-hmm. But she snaps back into, oh, don't worry about me, I'm fine.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out with Tabitha in the mix, and it's like
she's gonna be crazy all the time again.
Well, we haven't really seen what the hell Tabitha and Butch have been up to, so
That's
we don't even know what the hell they're doing.
Fucking crushing it.
And I don't know, and I want to see what's going on with Penguin. I hope we get some Penguin next episode. I don't think I got 2 episodes without Penguin. As much as this episode clearly was amazing without Penguin, did not need him at all. I don't know if I can go another episode without it.
I have a feeling we will.
I don't know. From what I saw in the previews, Azrael looks fantastic. Like, I am so excited for Azrael. Like, did not think I was going to be as excited for him as I am.
Yeah.
Going in, I'm very skeptical about Galavan being Azrael, but at the same time, I like it. So it's going to be interesting.
I'd say so.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys have anything else?
No.
No. Getting close to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it 4 or 5 episodes? No, 3 or 4 episodes now, right? This is episode...
I think 4, yeah. I think it ends on 22, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to check real quick.
Is it 22 or 23? It's 22.
A lot of shows have been jumping back and forth between 22 and 23, so...
It's really hard to keep track.
Yeah. Last season was 22, so I'm going to assume this season is 22 as well.
Yeah, 22.
But we'll see. Yeah, 22.
Yep.
Okay.
Confirmed 22. So yeah. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at No More on the Twiddle.
The Twiddle.
The Twiddle.
That's a new place?
It's where I post stupid Mitomo photos on a near constant basis.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
I do that too sometimes.
Well, Nikki, where can the people find yours?
They can find me and my Mitomo pictures on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYvenom24.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, posting absolutely no Mitomo photos ever. No. PHENOMEDOM. I actually barely even log onto that anymore. I haven't for like the last week and a half. I did like the first 3 or 4 days that game came out, and then I haven't touched it since. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next week, for Azriel, see you guys later.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
I can't wait. That sword looks so awesome.
Uh-huh.
Did you watch the extended one, John?
I did not, but I will.
Yeah. Did you see when he actually like open or take this case? You'll use it to vanquish your foe. I forget how he worded it, and he just picks the case up and bashes some guy's head in with it, and he goes, "No, you have to open it."
Wow. Okay.